Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Sunday, the 24th of Zulhijjah 1443, corresponding with the English date 24th of July 2022. This Majlis took place after the Ishraaq Salat at the residence of Hazrat Wala in Wasiabad, Alahbadi, UP, India. Hazrat Wala is saying that, and reading from the Kitab, that the Anbiya alayhimus salatu wassalam had taught insaniyat and humanity how to see to the ship of life so that they could steer it well in this dunya and they could reach the shores safely without drowning. With khair and afiyat, they could come to the shores of safety. Now, in the tarikh and history, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was commissioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at such a time when the world or insaniyat and humanity had reached its lowest point, that there was no hope for mankind whatsoever. وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ إِذْ كُنْتُمْ أَعْدَاءً فَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا. Recall Allah's favor to you when you were enemies and He created love between your hearts. Then you became brothers by His grace. By His grace. وَكُنْتُمْ عَلَى شَفَا حُفْرَةٍ مِّنَ النَّارِ فَأَنْقَذَكُمْ مِنْهَا. You are on the edge of an abyss, a pit of fire of Jahannam, because you were steeped in kufr and disobedience. فَأَنْقَذَكُمْ مِنْهَا. And He rescued you from it by making you Muslims. كَذَلِكَ يُبَيِّنُ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ آيَاتِهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَهْتَدُونَ. In this way Allah Ta'ala explained His ayat to you so that you may be guided. Hazrat Wala says that Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab, generally after his majlis, he used to take out a 10 rupees and he would give it to me, saying that, give this to Maulana Muhammad Ahmad. And then I would go, but at that age, old age of his, he was so fit and so fast, by that time he would already reach so far. I would come with him, and then when he would stop and he would be there, then I would hand over that 10 rupees. But he would be so delighted for that. Maulana Muhammad, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab would send me like this to others as well. On one occasion, I took and I went with 500 rupees and I handed that over. Once I was sitting with Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Sahab and he said to me that, Maulana, leave alone pure, genuine akhlaq, meaning that which is related to the heart. Leave that. Even basic external akhlaq and courtesy is not found today. Zahiri akhlaq also is not found today. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to quote the ibarat of Kanzul Ummal, which he has written in his booklet Wasiyatul Akhlaq. Wanani bil akhlaq ma huwa a'malul qulub. When we speak about akhlaq, we actually speak about the workings and the amal of the heart. وَنَعْنِي بِالْأَعْمَالِ مَا هُوَ أَفْعَالُ الْجَوَارِحِ. And when we speak about a'mal, that is what becomes apparent on the limbs. So akhlaq is of utmost importance. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to quote to us, Hazrat Wala says, that in Jahannam, the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a time will come when the people, the inhabitants of Jahannam, would be troubled so much by a terrible stench, and they would even say, what has happened? Who has come now that such a musibat has come onto us? And they will be told that a person with abhorrent and bad character has come, a one who was arrogant and proud. So this arrogance and this pride is such, and it can be, whether it is for ilm, for knowledge, whether that pride and arrogance comes because of a person thinking that he comes from a certain tribe, or because of his beauty, etc. Sometimes you would see amongst the Arab, people would get angry or this or that. But one person just needs to say, Salli ala Nabi. He would just say that, and the person's anger would subside and it would come down completely. There was a person who stayed for about 20 years amongst the Arab, and I used to tell him, when I used to sit with him and listen to what he had to say about the Arab, that you are the person that praises the Arab. I haven't seen someone like this. And he was the one who told me, Maulana, you are unaware. I've stayed with these people. We just look at this or that or the other. I've stayed amongst them, with them, in between them. And they have such akhlaq, their sifat are so tremendous. Allahu Akbar. There are so many mithal and examples that we can give. On one occasion, a lady comes to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam complaining that a certain man is trying to do this and that, or how we would say interfering or this or that with her. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam called this person, and he was about to punish him or reprimand him, when in all of that, the real perpetrator of that there comes about, and he says, Oh Nabi of Allah, this lady is mistaken. It's not him. It was me. Allahu Akbar. Now tell me, today do you find that type of thing? But rather, people would take pleasure, and when the blame comes about, they would rather wish that the blame goes on someone else. Now all this here, these Waqi'at, Ma'inum min al-Shama'il, for approximately now 20 years we are working on this kitab. So many others are also with me in this, helping me, etc. And make dua that it comes to fruition and this kitab is also printed. You know, Haji Imdadullah Rahmatullah Alayhi used to say that don't give a kitab away free. Rather, let a person pay for it, even though it may be just 1 paisa or 1 rupee, so that there can be some type of appreciation. Because when a person does that, then sometime or the other, he will pick up the kitab and look into it. Today, even those who are wealthy, in fact, those sometimes we find them to be such that they don't want to give anything at all. Rather, the person who doesn't have that much sometimes is even prepared to pay. I think it was regarding, Hazrat Wala is saying, Buzurg Khaja Gharib Nawaz. He used to say that I made so much mehnat on this tasneef or this kitab, etc. And I would not give it to you just like that. I would not give it to you just like that. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, my example and the example of people is such of a person who comes and starts up a fire, due to which the area then is lit from all sides, and moths, other insects all come and throw themselves at the flame of that fire. And the person who started up that fire tries the best to take these insects away, but he cannot do that. And they come and they fall into the fire. Similarly, that's my example with you. I'm holding you at your back and at your waist, trying to take you away from the fire, take you out of the fire, and then too you take yourself and throw yourself into the fire. Today, whatever we see in the world, whatever good, khair, barakat, akhlaq that you find, it is because of the barakat of the da'wat and the efforts and propagation, the fruits of it, of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is mentioned that I have been sent. The objective and the goal of myself being commissioned was that I could bring to completion a good character. So when this good character comes about, then there would be justice. Such an atmosphere would be created of peace and salamati, and you would not have oppression. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, together regarding his friends, his near and dear ones, regarding parents, family, children, neighbors. Okay, I'm just trying to get the page here. Has showed us how such rules and how to stay, due to which there will be so much of shafqat and muhabbat and giving preference to others, etc. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has come, and in the past, the other Anbiya alayhimus salatu wassalam also brought akhlaq. But Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam brought such ta'limat in which he completed and he perfected the akhlaq that had come before. Bu'ithtu li'utammima makarimal akhlaq. Allama Suyuti says that the Arab, regarding their ways and their akhlaq, they were from amongst the best in people, and because they had taken from, and you would see the effects of the Shariat of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam in them as well. Yes, this is definite that you would see that they had gone astray because of kufr and shirk. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had come to perfect beautiful and complete perfect character. Where has our character gone to? Even at the time of iftari, if 3-4 people extra had come, I've seen this, that they take those people and chase them away at the time of iftari. Hazrat Haji Imdadullah used to say, so long as a person's character, his akhlaq is not corrected, until then he will not have the capacity and the capability to have his nisbat ma'allah, his connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, we've been going through, sometimes we go and with Abdullah, we go through a certain path. So we must going that way. And just today, I mean, it's not something to say here in the Majlis, but it came to me this morning in my mind. And I was disturbed of that. This lady, her husband has passed away. What can I tell you about this lady? Completely azad, free thinking, and she started coming to my majlis. And then such a type of a revolution and change comes into her that if you read her halat and what she has mentioned to me, that at the time of tahajjud, what overcomes her and what type of nuzul there is there, I can't even explain that to you. Allahu Akbar. Her husband has passed away. I even had made her my majaz a sohbat. Now Abu Sufyan, you will remember, on the time of Hijrat to Abyssinia, when he was called by Najashi and he was cross-questioned that is he like this, is he like this, and he had to answer that yes, he is like this in the affirmative regarding all the good qualities of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then came to the part of is he truthful in his treaties and his promises and the pacts that he carries out. He says this was the one opportunity that I had in which I could have said something loose here or there, like something just like this here, that regarding the treaty and this and that, now we'll have to see if he fulfills it. He says that I feared so much. Feared about what? That my own people would say that our leader is speaking lies. Now this was the trait and the akhlaq and sifat amongst the Arab. In fact, even from our hukuk to fellow Muslims is that we should attend their janaza, follow their janaza. This akhlaq is going away slowly. It is not found anywhere. Allah Ta'ala bring it into our madrasas again, into our khanqas, into our homes. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.